This is a very, very insane case of art theft and then trying to get out of it. So, I'm going to put some trigger warnings right now for life ending and life ending attempts. So, we have this post on Blue Sky by Blue Sky user embryonikz writing, I did not expect to see somebody fake their death after reposting my artwork and tracing it, but yeah, I guess that happens. I don't know how to feel about somebody copying my identity so blatantly and then straight up making a life-ending post on their blog. How am I supposed to respond to this? Literally, my artwork you're reposting, but F, go ahead, I guess. Trace all my shit too, you fucking asshole, and then guilt trip me and then all your friends just because I didn't appreciate you tracing me. This is a post from somebody under the life end post writing, this is some of her art to the people wondering. We can see the artwork, and this went viral. The original life end tweet went really viral. It was like 100k likes. It's gone now. And this post by somebody else showcasing the artwork, I saw this one too. This was 13k likes. And attached our artwork, except this artwork did not belong to the person that allegedly lost their life, wingvy. This belongs to the Blue Sky user. And here embryonikz shows a Clip Studio Paint file where you can see some sketches and one of the photos. This was from July 24th, 2023. And then embryonikz adds, whoa, that's crazy. It's almost as if it's my art. And that's what I can move the layers. And then here we have a video where they are in Clip Studio Paint. And as you can see, they're toggling layers on and off. And then they can click and move the items, likely because it is their artwork. And embryonikz writes, the fact that I actually literally posted this art on Tumblr before. But yeah, bro, I guess it's yours now. So this is from the Internet Archive. This is a photo, a little smoke sketch that was allegedly posted by the other person, wingvy. And then here, this is their Tumblr, and you can see the exact same sketch is right here. What they're claiming to be their art on Internet Archive versus my actual Clip Studio file. That's my art, bro. Weird you'd only screenshot that one little part and not the whole thing. Like you didn't have the full file because you didn't make it. So here on Internet Archive, here is some artwork, and then we open the full file and you can see, oh, it's like this chunk right here. And so here's what some people had to say. Chase writes, I'm massively effing shocked at this. I knew Wing and she was genuinely so sweet and had art of her own that was really good. I can't understand why she would do something like this. I am so sorry. Walker says, hey, could you share more about this? I learned of them for the first time today on Twitter and was heartbroken hearing about their sudden passing. Was their death faked? embryonikz writes, yes, for some reason they decided to bait people and I don't know why. After being called out, they privated their account. River Witch writes, what the F? This is all so messed up. I'm so sorry that happened to you. Genuinely in shock. embryonikz responds, I don't understand what I did to deserve this. All I ever did was be friendly to this person in a server. They get attached to me to a toxic degree and then fake a death because I told them straight up to stop tracing my artwork and reposting it. It is all effed up. Sorry, distracted by my cat. Look, he's just so cute. But there is now all this mention about art tracing and then faking a death. Let's get into this because this is absolutely insane. So this was tweeted, this graphic was tweeted out on Wing's account. This was on January 3rd, 2025, and this went viral. Viral. And it reads, on January 3rd, 2025, Wing was found unresponsive on the side of her bedroom. Her mom told me that she couldn't breathe. She looked pale. After many attempts of her parents doing chest compressions, she was immediately rushed to the hospital. There was no response. I was still at work when this happened. Immediately when I got the call from her mom, I rushed to my car and headed to the hospital as fast as I could. She had passed away from a heart attack. She was very passionate, quiet, and motivated, inspired by so much from the world. She had many friends. She was a calm and cheerful person to talk to, but the struggle she had all this time only kept getting worse. It's already heartbreaking to see somebody so talented and joyful go away at a grown age. We miss you, Wing. Austin and Dad. And some little doodles at the bottom that are allegedly not even wings. And again, this went viral, like 100k over likes type viral. And then on the account that graphic was posted, on January 12th, a Google Doc was posted. The doc is titled Today for Twitter. And it reads, I want to clear some things before starting. I migrated to Blue Sky when I deleted my stuff on Twitter. It was terrible looking at art that I thought was going to make me improve. It's best to say I won't use that anymore for a shit ton of reasons. Austin is not real. I faked my death because of numerous purposes regarding fear and an escape to at least try and heal myself. I haven't acted on being dependent. I had a hard time turning apps off, even acting like my usual calm self. I do not have the help I need, even after getting discharged from a mental health facility. I wanted to not exist because I myself had no control or precaution on what kinds of unwell and unhealthy decisions. The imbroglio that became of me. I do not want to be remembered because I've set selfish and childish examples towards what I truly am, that and the simplest things I couldn't resolve. I am afraid. What I do is not enough. Even that doesn't help prove that I'm disciplining myself to improve my art or my identity. Before my departure, I want to realize something in secret. I wanted to leave things alone one last time. I felt that recognizing what truly came forward from my decisions. I took several breaks, but nothing helped let go. Complicated things regarding personal and online stuff has driven me insane a lot. Discord has never made me better, and it has gotten harder to even feel free and enjoy anything. I am not dead. I am alive. Here is what I have to say. Like I said, I faked my death because it really felt overwhelming to even continue taking something that drove me in a path so insanely unhealthy and distracting. It made me sadder and unhappy. I've stolen art plenty of times. I am more nervous now than having to cope with all my shyness and confidence before I went intrepid with a hellspawn of ideas. I've lied multiple times. I've been unreliable and useless with some sort of accomplishment to myself and even being considered trustworthy. Lots of times I've been inside somewhere in my mind that never made me say, quote, I am you need to be this person right now at this moment than talking to yourself, end quote. It felt like I was stuck in a room where all I could do was try to help myself after all the conundrums that overtook what came to me. I apologize for faking my death, for stealing art that I hadn't made, for wiggling out and being selfish and having no sense of decency. I always am unsure of things honestly, because the help I want always makes me feel like I'm scared of telling the truth, or even trying to draw, even keeping up with work. It resolves to me just being quiet and away from the world. I would also like to apologize to a friend of mine for being manipulative, jealous, irresponsible, rash, and insincere. When Discord came along, it felt really quick. Through the years, it became obsessive and over time really effective and uneasy to control. I got so many ideas from it, and also an introduction to many servers early on became regretful to even control apart from it and schoolwork. I'm sorry for crazy things I take to heart that for me became a misguided journey to have a future for myself. I apologize for also using one of your characters for the fake statement as well as the scrap drawings. Knowing this won't excuse any of my actions. I want the support I need. I really need something to help me get back on my feet rather than being alone. I like being quiet and at least have somebody on my side to support me rather than going insane and afraid of saying no. I already despise being myself and also living where I'm at. It just makes me sadder to even live where my future knows it's heading. Final thoughts. It's odd writing this now, knowing in my head things will never be the same, but I don't really know if I even want to continue on the path where I'm going. No shit, lol, I'm an arrogant piece of crap because of being misinformed by other people because of Discord. I wanted somewhere that I could relate my art ideas and try speaking with friends in my POV. It's honestly scary now too to even have an art style I'm comfortable pursuing along with it. I've spoken to another friend too about this and the reason why I stole and copied Inky's style. So here is a Discord screenshot. I'm assuming this is the conversation with a friend, and it reads, when I met up Ink in the Pooter place, which is now deleted, I was super interested and amazed in their art style and their research and stuff. Super intrigued. I was right to the point where my art style needed a change. It was terrible and I didn't want anyone to recognize me from my old brushes and the things after. Just not as expressful or better than how people would draw their own OC and do colorful shit like rendering. I hadn't gotten the practice or motivation to jump the gate that big for that. I wanted something further than what I do. Impress myself than having to repeat the sequence of my art, just in my eyes being already something annoying to pertain. I use Ink's art because I wanted to go where they were going, but never credited them because I just don't I want to be like them. I want to draw like them and I kill for something to push myself to the limit as that. It was very distracting. Usually artists say it's okay to try making this in their art style because they want people to improve and learn anatomy or whatever. If I ruin this for me, I can't be perfect. How are people so much perfect? How do people do things so much joyfully and better than me? How can I prove myself to be worthy? Am I even useful? Overall, I apologize for being incoherent, unwise, a liar with too many things to handle everything in the end, a manipulator, jealous of things I've yet to improve myself on, as well forcing, and angry at things that should have been dealt the right way instead of irrefutable. One last thing. I'd like to apologize to the people I was, were, and am friends with on Discord for a bit long or longer than that. I apologize for my actions and selfishness. I ignored everything without knowing the warning and having a chance to be truthful rather than to hide a long burden from myself. I was dishonest, I was easily frightened and unprepared, and I was trying to leave everything from myself for an obvious purpose, but was too afraid to vent at all. I was a liar. I was unhealthy and I was worried it will stay like. What I mean is without support, careless, or unenthused. I'm afraid of taking a path where I want things for me to be. I suck in a lot of ways. I'm very sorry for the way I acted before and how it kept me unwell after these 1.5, maybe more years. This was a bit difficult to read because it was a very, very big ramble where there was complex words, but also like confusing grammar to me. But yeah, it does sound like this person needs help. It sounds like this person is like very insecure in themselves. They're desperate to change themselves and they saw copying somebody entirely as the solution, which is never the solution, right? I hope they get the help they need, but it doesn't really necessarily change the fact like they took the craziest way out. A big thing is, I guess, owning up to what they did and apologizing. There's been people who have faked their death in the same scenario where they traced art and got caught for it, but they never owned up for it. They never owned up to it. They just kind of double, triple down. There was one person, I never like made a follow up about it. You guys might know who I'm talking about, but it was a VTuber. Anyways, they made like fake accounts of family members and then had the fake family members double down. It was crazy. Maybe I'll make an update on that eventually when like more stuff comes out. At least they're showing that they can grow and be a better person because they're owning up to their mistake and no as big as their mistake was. Here's what some commenters under the post had to say. Where Star Wars Evil Anakin writing, I think a self-reflection journey is good. Chase writes, I'd like to say I'm glad you're alive. I hope you understand the effect this had seeing as upwards of 14 million people saw that stolen art. I have faith you'll get better. I hope you can start by properly crediting those artists. And Evie writing, give embryonikz the credit they deserve, weighing options between apologizing and faking my death right now. Spaghetti says, I hope you learn from these mistakes and improve yourself for the better. You're very talented and you can certainly make up for everything if you just stay true to yourself. Good luck with everything. Connor says, honestly, I'm disappointed that you faked your death. If you wanted to say anything about the path you didn't want to take, you should have said so. But faking your death, I just hope you learn your lesson of what you did. Welcome back and goodbye at the same time. Hope you improve. And then they had a second post on January 13th, a day later, a graphic that reads, to continue with the doc, I'm still indecisive and unwell after what I've done. I don't know if I'll have the help I need. I apologize for my actions, things that drove me out of order with no respect or trust for what ruined my life the most. I'm truly sorry as well for lying and leaving without telling anyone anything about what I described in this doc. I admit it's very hard for me to open up as well. I vent about it if there are people even out there who support me at all. And honestly, I have trouble understanding or being advised things from a simple direction. Even finding who I truly am after all of these years is harder. Nothing will ever heal from others to what I've done. I promise to never do this kind of unhealthy departure again. I don't want to be alone in this world from difficult choices that will never escape from my head. I will improve from my actions now that social media will be out of the picture. To my moods and close friends who know me, I'll be somewhere elsewhere if I come back after I finish graduation. If not, only time will tell when I'm even alright anymore. And this was embryonikz post on their Blue Sky writing, bro couldn't even link me directly in their apology, like okay, with screenshots of the apology, and embryonikz saying, you would think it would mean a lot for me to get the proper credit right, instead of keeping people in the dark. And that is essentially the conclusion of that. I hope Wing can get better, find the help they need. It sounds like they at least have been reflecting, so hopefully that's the first step, right? Admitting what you did is wrong, and then moving on and learning to be better. And for embryonikz, I do have to say, again, I am so sorry for them having to be the victim of art theft from somebody else and then having them fake their death. That's gonna feel some type of way for embryonikz, right? There's like a mental load in thinking that for at least like the 10 days that that post was up, thinking that, there's like guilt to that. On embryonics's Blue Sky post, the person that posted this, that went viral with 13K likes, actually went on Blue Sky and followed up. So they wrote, if you could cross out my username, I'd appreciate that because I'm so embarrassed about sharing that misinformation. If you don't want to, I understand. And again, I apologize sincerely for that. And embryonikz says, I'm curious where you got the misinformation from. And the poster writes, somebody invited them to my Discord server and she'd share her art imitating your style there. So here's some example with Wing, where you can see the artwork, more artwork. And embryonikz says, Jesus, man, all of this is my artwork. All of it. Fuck, man, how long have they been doing this for? And the poster says, they joined in November of 2023. I'm not sure how much of the art she posted is stolen and how much of it was her own. And embryonikz writes, the majority of her art looks to be traced, and when I DM'd her a few months back about it, she didn't deny that claim and said she stopped tracing and copying. Not all messages are included, but it does show some mentions of the copying. So here we have the DMs between Wing and embryonikz, where Wing writes, and also I really am sorry about just ignoring the stuff from back then because I kept asking for your brushes and all this shit that made you feel annoyed. I started using draw piles since you said you drew some parts on there and I began improving. But overall, I really do need to put this off as an apology because I really didn't want to be that one person for that one shitty joke. I can't change what I did because from my perspective, because people usually get the understanding from Twitter jokes or Reddit humor. And Bronix writes, I will be entirely honest, I don't feel comfortable around you. You became very attached to me without barely even knowing me and used my art without my permission, without crediting me, as well as copying my art and straight up tracing it. I am well aware of your Twitter account. I also don't appreciate you falling for allegations made by people who have stalked me for 6 years. I am a victim of grooming. I don't appreciate having people come after me when I've had PDF files forcing me into situations I don't want to be in. I want nothing to do with NSFW artwork or pro ship artwork. And Wing writes, I'm sorry for me basically being that huge idiot who said, quote, yeah, I make NSFW, end quote, which I don't, since I've gotten also advice from anatomy from the stuff you said you study and such. Even the animal pieces you make got me invested and wanted to research more into people's art and connection through animal life and other stuff. And Bronick says, despite your claims that you feel I am your favorite artist, I felt you have disrespected my boundaries heavily. If you really did respect me, you wouldn't copy me so heavily. And Wing writes, so as of now, I'm still making art and talking to other people because of a few inspired people, especially you on other social medias, and got around to more music. I think you're talented because in the future you won't really need social media or stuff. Keep doing you, down from going ahead or personal stuff. I know I can't say anything else because I've already screwed up many times, but I just want to leave it at least a remembrance or at least a positive note rather than overwhelm that's still due to all that shit people say and stuff. At least in what I see in other medias or shit like this, I still think you'll make or keep doing the things you like doing. And Abronic says, I appreciate it, but I don't want to be on bad terms. But I feel like in the future, if you use my art, please credit me. And maybe stray away from copying my art so heavily, it'd mean a lot to me. And Wing says, of course. And Embronix writes, for a while, I feel you were trying to steal my identity with how you use my art without credit as a banner and icon on Tumblr, as well as copying my Tumblr description, as well as using traces of my artwork. And Wing writes, I also don't want to be on bad terms either, and I won't also as well not copy you anymore. I'm being introduced to other stuff as well aside from your art. And Bronick says, thank you, it means a lot, Wing. And Wing says, of course. Also, if you want to be more of acquaintances instead, because seeing how I troubled you from last year and onwards, I don't really know if it's okay for you if you want to unblock me on Discord at all. Everyone's migrating to Blue Sky because of Twitter. There's a lot of stuff going on this website now than the other. And the poster writes, I'm so disappointed to have believed she created those stolen works. I never knew Wing was like this. I really like your artworks now that I know who the true creator is. Once again, I am so sorry to have reposted your work with the incorrect credit that had your trust betrayed. I have to say, Embronix has an incredibly unique and amazing art style. I was like stalking their art for a while because it's so pretty. Like, I just love the way they draw. It is absolutely amazing. But yeah, here are some pieces they've done, work in progresses. I personally just love the way they draw. Like, I feel like for me, their art is just extremely thought-provoking. Like, when I see their artwork, it just makes me feel some type of way, like a very, very like intriguing type of way, and I love it. Again, to wrap this all up, don't send hate to any parties involved, okay? Wing has recognized what they did was wrong. They apologize for it. Hopefully they can move on and learn to be better. I'm glad they're alive. I truly, truly am. I just hope they can learn to be better, and they stated that they're going to get off social media, and hopefully they just do that and they focus on themselves and become better. As for Embronix, again, I'm truly sorry for the art theft that occurred because that's very egregious. It went on for so long, and they are an extremely talented artist. I'll have their Blue Sky link down below so you can go check them out. Their art, I'm probably going to stalk it later because it is gorgeous. So to wrap this all up, I would love to hear your thoughts down below about this entire situation. This is a crazy, like, life-ending faking situation. Again, if you do share your thoughts, let's please be respectful in the comment section below. If you like this video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe because it helps me a lot. And I also have an Etsy shop where I sell digital goods and stuff, and I also have a coffee where I have free stuff for streamers and content creators, and I also stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST, although I low-key might move the Mondays due to my boyfriend's day off being only Monday. But yeah, so with all of that, I hope to catch you guys in another one of my videos or over there on my socials. Peace.